everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Putri Anggreni Janingsi.
I am Ben Gunawan, your co-host for today's show. Together, we are diving into some fascinating topics in a relaxed atmosphere. We are delving into the world of hobbies, specifically the love for our hobbies. We believe that hobbies may boost our productivity while also enjoying our leisure time. By the way, what are your hobbies, Putri?
I'm enjoy watching anime, manga, or manhwa. I also like to listen to music and read novels. How about you, William?
Me too. I also like watching anime and reading manga. It's good to know that there are other anime fans.
Haha, why do you like to watch anime?
Well, I think it took me several steps before watching anime became my hobby. Initially, I loved the story progression in the anime. Next, the visual is becoming greater and greater. There's also the background music and song that influence me emotionally. And last, I also got to learn English and Japanese from watching anime.
Wow, that's really cool. Anime can be also be good learning material. From birth, I really like cartoon film. After that, without knowing it, I switched to anime. Until now, I still follow the latest anime stories from various genres. I even read manga and manhwa to find out more about the story I'm following.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe we can talk about the title of the anime. What's your favorite anime and manga?
My first recommendation is Tensura, Tensei Star Slam Dataken, a popular isekai anime that follows the story of Satoru Mikami, a man reincarnated as a slime in a fantasy world. It tracks his journey as he adapts to his new life, gains unique abilities, and becomes an important figure in his new world. Now, for its interesting plot, entertaining character, and the mix of action, adventure, and comedy.
I see that you like isekai anime. I also got hooked on Tensura, especially during the scene where Rimuru devoured the Orc Lord. I shed my tears when I learned the backstory of the Orc King. His only aim is to solve the hunger problem for their king. What about your favorite scene in Tensura?
I also like the scene you mentioned it, but I like the scene where Rimuru names all the monsters and establishes a country called the Jura Tempest Federation. And don't forget the scene of the rival of Milim Nafa, one of the Demon King who is a close friend, which is also an extraordinary moment. I didn't think it could be tamed by just using food. You definitely know who Yuki Kagurazaka is, right? Actually, this is a secret because it hasn't appeared in anime yet, and his is a scene of only exists in the manga. In fact, he is Rimuro's biggest enemy in the future. Oh, I al- I almost did a spoiler. Hehe. Back to the main topic. What do you think about the scene that I like, William?
Well, it takes me back to the wonder of Tensura. From my perspective, Tensura has all the good aspects: good visuals, music, storyline, and also the character design. It is also refreshing to have some comedy on Tensura. Anyway, do you have other anime recommendations?
If you enjoy Tensura, you might also like other isekai anime such as Overlord, Tsukigami Chibiku Isekai Douchu, Tate no Yusha no Nariyagari, and Arifureta no Sokugyo de Isekai Saikyo.
Oh, I know some of those. Overlord, Shield Hero, and Arifureta, right? I really support the main characters that start being weak or full of hurdles. It feels so badass when they finally reveal their power.
That's true. By the way, we have not here about your favorite anime. What is your favorite anime?
Well, it is quite hard to choose only one, but hearing the word anime always makes me have flashbacks on Sword Art Online and Gothic Crown. If I am not mistaken, I watched SAO back then in 2013 or 2014. It really got me hooked on watching anime. Not long after finishing SAO, I was looking for another serial and I watched Gothic Crown based on my friend's recommendation.
Wow, I really didn't expect that there would be a topic about Gothic Crown and Sword Art Online. They were out a long time ago. Gothic Crown is out in 2011, while the first season of Sword Art Online is out in 2012. Can you tell us about the storyline?
First of all, these two anime are very distinctive. Sword Art Online is a popular anime series based on a light novel written by Reiki Kawahara. The first season of SAO primarily revolves around the virtual reality MMORPG, or massively multiplayer online role-playing game called Sword Art Online. In the near future, players are able to immerse themselves fully in a virtual reality through a device called the Nerve Gear. The story begins when thousands of players eagerly log into the highly anticipated virtual reality game on the launch day. However, they soon realize that they are unable to log out. The game's creator, Akihiko Kayaba, reveals that in order to escape the game, players must reach the 100th floor of the game's tower and defeat the final boss. Moreover, if they die in the game, they die in real life. The protagonist, Kirito, along with other players, embark on a journey to clear the game and free themselves. Throughout the series, Kirito encounters various challenges, form alliances, and explore the complexities of the virtual reality relationships. The first season of SAO explored themes such as friendship, loss, love, and the blurred lines between reality and virtual reality.
I understand that the Sword Art Online storyline is a game that will make the player die if they cannot complete the 100 level tower. This story is only for season 1 and is still being produced until season 9 with different game themes for the lovers of this anime. It is a highly recommended anime. And next, can you tell us the storyline of Gothic Crown?
Okay, on the other hand, Gothic Crown is an anime set in a dystopian future where Japan has been taken over by a powerful multinational organization called the GHQ, after a devastating virus outbreak known as the Apocalypse virus. The story follows Omashu, a high school student who gains the power to extract weapons from the people's hearts using a genetic weapon called the Void Genome. Shu becomes involved with the resistance group, Funeral Parlor, and joins their fight against the oppressive GHQ regime. As the series progresses, Shu grapples with the responsibilities and consequences of his newfound power, as well as the moral complexities of rebellion and loyalty. Gothic Crown combines elements of action, science fiction, and political intrigue, with themes including power, sacrifice, and the impact of technology on society. The anime is well known for its stunning animation, intense action sequences, and emotionally charged storytelling.
So, Gothic Crown is an anime with a supernatural, apocalyptic, political, song, manipulative genre, and with good visual, music, storyline, and character design, and easily placed on the audience feeling with what they feel.
Exactly, Putri. Both Sword Art Online and Gothic Crown offer unique and captivating storylines that keep viewers on the edge of their seats. What I love about this anime is not just the action and drama, but also the different themes they explore. from the exploration of virtual reality and its implications in SAO to the examination of power and rebellion in Politic Road. This anime provoked thought and discussion long after the credits roll.
Absolutely, William. That's one of the great things about anime. It's not just entertainment. It's also a medium for exploring complex ideas and emotion. Whether it's grappling with existential questions, exploring the depths of human relationships, or confronting social and political issues. Anime has a way of resonating with audience on a deep level.
Yes, that's true. And let's not forget about the artistic aspect of anime. The stunning visuals, intricate character designs, and mesmerizing animation all come together to create a truly immersive experience. Anime allows creators to push the boundaries of imagination and storytelling in ways that live action films or traditional animation simply cannot match.
Absolutely, William. Anime is a testament to the power of creativity and imagination. It's a medium where anything is possible, and where stories can come to life in ways that defy our expectations. Whether you are a seasoned anime fan or just discovering the world of Japanese animation.
So, to all our listeners out there, if you haven't already explored the world of anime, we highly encourage you to give it a try. You might just discover a new passion and a whole universe of stories waiting to be unfolded. By the way, you also mentioned about manhwa. Are you also fond of manhwa? Let's talk about that.
If we are talking about manhwa, let's talk about the beloved manhwa, Dr. Alice, the Royal Lady with the Lamp. It's a popular series that tells the story of the sergeant named Song Ji-hyo, who incarnates as a noble woman named Alice. Using her medical knowledge, Alice helps those around her and fight for women's rights in patriarchal society. She struggles to redeem herself by becoming a doctor who can assist everyone. This manual's debut in 2017 is set to be adapted into an anime scheduled to air in January 2024.
Whoa, so it has been launched recently. No wonder it feels familiar. The story setting is also quite unique, since I rarely read or watch something with political issues. However, I do not really read manhwa that often. One manhwa that I really like is Solo Leveling. I like the way the story progressed, unraveling the mystery of the power that Sang Jinwoo has when he was on the verge of death. The character design, including the human and the monster, are all godly. The fighting scene also seems to become alive, and the story is easy to follow through.
Solo Leveling is indeed a masterpiece. Sung Jin-woo's character's development throughout the series is incredible. The way he starts as the E-rank hunter and gradually becomes one of the strongest hunters out there is so satisfying to watch. And you are right about the arts. It's just stunning. Every panel feels like it's bursting with action and intensity.
Exactly. The way Song Jinwoo faces different challenges and enemies keeps you on the edge of your seat. And let's not forget about the leveling system. It adds a whole new layer of excitement to the story. You are constantly wondering how he's going to level up next and what new powers he's going to unlock.
Oh, definitely. The leveling system adds this element of progression that's so addictive. It's like you are leveling up alongside Sung Jin-woo as becomes more and more powerful. And the dungeons, each one feels like its own little adventure filled with dangers and excitement.
I totally agree. The dungeon raids are some of the most thrilling parts of the series. You never know what's waiting for them inside, and the stakes are always so high. It's amazing how the author manages to keep the tension up throughout the entire series.
And the monsters, they are so creatively designed, from towering giants to terrifying demons. Each one feels unique and menacing in their own way. It's like you never know what kind of monstrosity Sung Jin-woo is going to encounter next.
Absolutely. The variety of monsters keeps the battles fresh and exciting. And the fight scenes themselves are just epic. The way Sang Jinwoo strategizes and uses his powers to overcome seemingly impossible odds is just so satisfying to watch.
I could not agree more. And speaking of fight scenes, the artwork really shines during those moments. The dynamics, the detailed backgrounds, it all comes together to create this breathtaking visual that really draw you into the action.
Definitely, the artist Jang Sung Rak deserves all the praise for bringing the world of solo leveling to life in such a stunning way. And let's not forget about the supporting characters. They all have their own unique personalities and motivations that add depth to the story.
Absolutely, characters like Cha Hae-in and Go Gun-hye bring their own dynamics to the story and contribute to Sung Jin-woo growth as a character. It's not just about him. It's about the relation he forms along the way and how they shape his journey.
Exactly. It's those relationships and character interactions that really make solo leveling stand out. It's not just about a story of one man's quest for power. It's about friendship, loyalty, and the bonds that form between people in the face of adversity.
Well said, Solo Leveling truly is a masterpiece in every sense of the word. From its gripping story to its breathtaking artwork, it's a series that's captured the heart of fans around the world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And with the recent announcement of anime adaptation, I cannot wait to see Song Jin-woo's journey this fall.
Definitely, the anticipation is killing me. I just hope the anime adaptation lives up to the expectation.
I'm sure it will. I have no doubt that Solo Leveling will continue to deliver epic battles, heart-pounding action, and jaw-dropping twists that will keep us hooked until the very end.
Here's to many more versions of Solo Leveling and the countless adventures that await us. That's all the time we have for today's episode. We hope you enjoy our discussion about this captivating anime and manhwa.
Yeah, and don't forget to tune in next time for more exciting topics and discussions. My name is William Ben Gunawan.
And my name is Putri Anggraini Stianingsih signing off. Until next time.